Hey everyone, I'm in Rainy River, which is at the far end of my riding, Thunder Bay Rainy River, and right on the border, one of our 3 border crossings into the United States, into Minnesota. And we're standing in front of the waterfront, the revitalized waterfront in Rainy River. It's absolutely beautiful. And this weekend is Railroad Days in Fort Frances, and it's a celebration of everything railroad, which is what this town was built on. It's not as important anymore as it was, but one of my favorite activities this weekend is going to be happening right behind me in a couple of hours, and that's the cardboard boat race. It doesn't have anything to do with railroads, but you know, kids get together, they get a certain amount of cardboard and a certain amount of duct tape, and they build a boat, and then they float down the Rainy River. Now the Rainy River is, everybody gets wet too, by the way. Rainy River empties a little bit to my left here, a little bit further west into Lake of the Woods. So my riding runs from Thunder Bay right to Lake of the Woods, and as I say, there's a border crossing there. It's a fabulous community. You know, many communities in my riding, you don't have to bother locking your doors. Everybody's friendly, and you know, it's a wonderful place to come and visit. This is also the prairies. A lot of people don't know that in my riding, which starts in the Canadian Shield in Thunder Bay, ends up in the prairies, which is really the beginning of the Canadian prairies, and so it's just fabulous. And the Rainy River behind me is a river that is fabulous. It's full of fish. There are lots of recreational activities, and so if you're watching this and you're not from this riding and not from Rainy River, you are certainly invited to be here anytime you want to come. We're also, keep watching the rest of this video, because we're going to make our way down the highway today, this morning, all the way to Fort Frances. So stay with us, and hopefully I'll have a little bit of historical information, and you can have a bit of a look at what this west end of the riding looks like. Anyway, good talking to you. Thanks for watching, and keep watching. And Cam, maybe just sort of pan over that way if you can, right over to the bridge there, and the bridge goes, if people can see the bridge over there, that's the bridge that goes into Minnesota, into Baudette, Minnesota. And lots of people take that bridge to make a shortcut to get to Manitoba. You can cut through that northern little arm of Minnesota. Takes you about an hour or so, and then you're into Manitoba. So thanks for watching. Keep watching. Hey everyone, we've just left Rainy River. Next down the road, down Highway 11 towards Fort Frances, is Sleeman, Ontario. Now, it's not much now. There's Lowe's Pro Hardware is here at the corner, and it's a corner that has a highway that heads north up to Morrison, which is sort of tourist country up on Lake of the Woods. But interesting bit of history here for Sleeman. You'll of course recognize the name because there is a Sleeman beer company in Guelph, Ontario. But this name comes from George Sleeman, who was one of the first farmers here. And at one time, in fact, during Prohibition, there were 5 at this corner. There were 5 businesses. One of them was a cedar lumber yard, which was run by W.T. Sleeman, who was George's son. And not only were there 5 stores, but there were also 5 bootleggers, and probably more bootleggers. This has a rich area in terms of bootlegging, in terms of certainly Prohibition. The river is right here across the United States, and I don't know much more about the history of bootlegging here, but let me just say this: you see the name, and if anyone's watching from the Sleeman Beer Company, Sleeman, Ontario, is right in the center of Canada. It's right in the center of North America, in fact. It would be a perfect place for a brewery, or at the very least, it'd be a perfect place to have a huge warehouse for shipping Sleeman products to the United States or to Western Canada. So, you know, I'm just suggesting the name is here, the rich history is here, and Mr. Sleeman and the Sleeman folks in Guelph, if you see this, this would be an absolutely perfect place for that business. We're going to head off down the road, and we'll see you shortly. Okay. Hi again. We're just on the outskirts of Pinewood. Pinewood is a community, not a big retail community, but on both sides of the highway in Pinewood there are lots of farmers and people who work the land for a living and have scratched a living. out. And I say scratch the living out because many farmers have full-time jobs outside the farm. They farm because they love to farm, and that's certainly one of the signatures here in this part of the riding, in the west end of the riding. Now I stopped here on the outskirts of Pinewood because right beside me, and this has been in the news lately, is a giant hogweed. Now I don't know if this is giant hogweed. It could be wild parsley. I'm not sure. If you know what it is, let us know. Let us know through the website or through my office, because giant hogweed, it's everywhere, and we do need to do something about it. If it's wild parsley, I don't know if we need to do anything about it. I don't even know if you can eat wild parsley. But this is if this is giant hogweed, I'd like to know about it. We'd like to know about it. So this is Pinewood. We're still heading off down the highway, so stay with us. Okay, thanks. Here we are in Stratton, Ontario. It's a vibrant community. It's a very, very active community, not just in an agricultural sense, but in a real community sense. There's a community hall here. There's a Catholic school off to my right, or off to my left, and I'm standing in front of the senior center, the toy lending library, and of course the daycare center. As I say, it's a very, very active. Lots of young families, and it's a great place to be. You know, next time you're by, you know, have a stop, say hi to the folks in the township of Morley. One of the things I forgot to mention as we go down Highway 11, in Rainy River, where we started, that is the end of Yonge Street. So if you look at the Yonge Street down on Lake Ontario, right downtown Toronto, that's the beginning. The end is in Rainy River, some 1,850 kilometers, maybe 1,900 kilometers, possibly the longest street in the world, and it certainly is worth the trip anytime you can make it. We're still heading down the road, so stay with us. Okay, bye. Hi again. Here we are in beautiful downtown Barwick, in front of the Chapel Museum. I'm here in front of the Chapel Museum because it's a fabulous little spot. It's a wonderful museum. It really documents all the families really for the last century here in the Barwick area. So you know, if you have an opportunity as you're passing by, I know it's beginning to sound like a travelogue, but you know what? I'm very very proud of this riding, and very proud of the west end of this riding, and very proud to live here. And the folks are wonderful, and I do suggest that you, if you're passing by Highway 11 or passing by Barwick, stop in at the museum. It's a lovely place to be. Okay, onward and upward.